didn't realise. I thought it was 5-2. My watch said 5-2. I need to have that checked out. There we go. Unprepared for today. That's a shocker. But doesn't mean we're not going to create something magical. It has been a busy time. Okay. So, let me see what I've got here. Here we go. Oh, there it is. So, hi Susan. Hello Angie. I'm just sorting myself out right now. I don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea, but I'm thinking something with lots of animals and the Style 2 sets, because I love the Style 2 sets. What's new? Just went to the doctor's because I've got pain in my toe. It sounds pathetic, but it was bothering me a bit, and I went to the doctor's and basically he prescribed me new trainers. So that's cool, isn't it? And he said they've got to be very expensive and really cool trainers. So Susie, just letting you know, we've got to go and buy me some really cool and expensive trainers. Doctor's orders as well. Anyway, he didn't really. He said get some Skechers, so I'm going to try that. I don't do expensive trainers. I wear the same pair of trainers for a million years until they basically are hanging off my feet. Okay. Craft news. So, zoo animals came in. Absolutely love it. I'm just getting prepared. I will use the zoo animals today. Sorry, I'm just getting everywhere a bit sorted. Let's get this out of here. Maybe I'll tape it down, because last time I noticed I did half of the illustration. It was off camera, which wasn't very good. Still haven't sorted the light situation, which is not great. Let me have a quick look at the comments. Who do we have in? Hello, everybody, for a start. We've got Mama X. Hi, Mama. How are things in? Is it Chicago, Mama X? Or are you in? Tell me, is it Chicago? You were the one who sent me the pictures, were you not? Tracy's in, Paul Brady's in, Hugh is in. Hi, Hugh. We've got Pauline, Sharon Lawrence, Paula Morgan Brown. Hello. Hugh, did you get the nasty bug, the one that's been going round? That's awful news. I'm sorry, I hope you're feeling better. It is Chicago, isn't it? That's for you, Mama X. I love that kind of American-y style. Jean Lindley. Oh, what am I doing there? Hi, Jean. Hi, Tracy. And we've got Kathy Forrester. Hi, Kathy. Sue Whelan. And then we have Hannah is in. Yes. Okay, so I don't know what we're doing today, but we're going to do a really, really lovely illustration. That's all I know. Apologies for the light. Again, it's this room. I wonder if I were to take off the lampshade, it might be a bit better. Let me just try it. Might go dark for a sec. You know what? I'm not even going to try that because once I got the light off, it was I didn't know how to get the lampshade off, so I'll maybe do that for next time. But we need to sort something out, don't we? Oh, do you know what I have got with it? Excuse me, why? Seems like we've all had this bug. Also, I really do apologise. I know this is not what you tune in to see, me faffing about trying to get things sorted. I should have had this done, but as I say, I had that doctor's appointment, so I can only apologise. Right, let's get this up. This is good, isn't it? And then where does that go to? Is that a USB? It is a USB, right. This might work. If it does, I'll be very, very happy, and it will be a better quality of video. Let me see. No, I'm really sorry, everyone. That's going in the bin. Oh well, at least it's something that I can get rid of in the house. Okay, let's jump in and go for it. Let me just how's everyone's day? I like that, Paula Brady. Don't burn yourself. Oh, I thought you said don't burn yourself out. I was like, because we've got so much stuff going on. To get the shade off once you're in the pitch. Yeah, that is true. It's harder when we're in the pitch black. Ooh, yeah, the big floodlight. But let's not get it now because I know Susie's trying to fend off the children downstairs. Okay, right, we're gonna jump in. We're gonna do something really lovely, and it's going to involve the new storybook Zoo Animals, which will be on their way to you very soon. Susie's been packing orders today. We've got most of them done, but again, it's one of those things, time, because a lot of orders came through. We will talk about the new A6 sets now. I'll talk about them as I'm doing my live. God, my hair went a little bit, I don't want to say it, but because it sort of hung down here a bit, I felt like it was reminiscent of a certain Nazi dictator. But I don't feel like mentioning his name, but yeah, look at that, it's going a bit, well, let's get angled down rather than talking about Nazi dictators, you lot. All the way. Okay. The light is awful. So sorry. But that's perfect. The minute. Right, so I'll try and keep re-angling, make sure that you can see everything that's going on, and we will create something mega lovely together. Let's start off with some of these zoo animals. Now, what's going to be happening in the scene? Let's have a quick think, although you know that I'm not one for spending too long thinking. I tell you what though, one of the cutest ones in this set has got to be the capybara. Capybara. Let's put the capybara here. Oh, he's gorgeous. Right, what's next? Then let's have my little tortoise. He will be just walking in from the side here. Let's get him there. So, as I'm doing this, let me tell you about these A6 sets, and this is my idea. Now, I need to say a big thank you to the group who I had my very chaotic but very, very lovely workshop alongside, those people who came to the Birmingham workshop. One, you are all absolutely magic. As is, I mean, I didn't know what to expect from, you know, people who are just always so lovely in the group. But I have to say, I was taken aback. Oh, there we go. That's better. I was taken aback by everyone's kindness and just the fact that we were able to have a nice laugh together. It was absolutely brilliant. I'm still absolutely reeling from it. But while we were there, I was asking, I always, when we do these workshops, I ask, you know, what could I be doing better? What are we missing from the collections and things like that? And one thing, got a good idea. One thing people said was maybe some A6 sets that have things like, you know, additions that we don't cover in some of the A5 sets. Maybe they could be little home adornments, things that you might have at home, things in the background like sinks and, you know, if you wanted to illustrate the inside of a room. So I'm doing an A6 set to do that. But the new one that's coming out, what I did is the Storybook Animals, as it is such a popular set, I basically redid the set, but with baby animals, baby in inverted commas, because they could also be just smaller animals. But they work as babies for all of the animals that are in the original Storybook Animals set, which is this one. Right here. Oopsie daisy. This set here. So that is the original Storybook Animals. Now this is one of our best selling sets. You have the bear, the squirrels, the deer, the hedgehogs, the owl, the mouse, the badger, fox, bird, we've got ducks or ducklings, rabbits. Now all of these in a way are matched with a mini version or a baby version in the sets. So it's really exciting. And obviously with them being much smaller sets and a bit you know, they're going to be a bit less expensive, so it's something that, you know, you won't have to break the bank. Not that you have to break the bank, but you know, you'll be able to have a peruse through and maybe get a few more sets. So yeah, I'm really excited about it. Let's go like this. What I'm doing here is I know that there's going to be a branch running through here. So I'm putting all of the animals that you can put on a branch on this one here. Then let's do... See, I don't want to go too mad. But what I am going to do here is my giraffe. I'm going to do a little bit of masking. The giraffe is going to be stood here, not on top of the alligator or crocodile, but behind the alligator or crocodile. So I will, let me find a little bit of scrap paper. Oh, this is nice. This is from, actually works really well, this. The stuff Susie uses for the labels. I'm going to put that here. And then I can stamp my... Oh, you can see through it as well. Oh, that's perfect. Might have to get some of that. Now, the giraffe on this stamping block just about fits in a way that you can get a full, clear stamped image. But obviously this time we don't want a full stamped image because I want to mask it a little bit. We're going to go here, alligator, and I'm going to stamp it down like that. And then I can draw the legs in like this. And then the back one, I can't remember what it's going up to, but yeah, that's good. Okay, so that's where I'm at so far. Now, do you know what? I'm going to have to include Mr. Sloth as well. So there we go, Hannah Gosling-Smith. I know your daughter loves a giraffe. So this set has a giraffe. Now, the animals in this set purposely are slightly smaller, and the reason for that is that they're zoo animals, so they're meant to be a bit further away, as in this illustration that I did, because obviously if they're zoo animals they're more likely to be a bit further in the distance than your regular animals that are right up close. So I was thinking from an illustration standpoint, I made them a bit smaller just to counteract that. Okay, now here's what I mean. So there's a tree, and a tree branch. How am I going to do this? Should I make it a rope rather than a tree branch? How should I do this? Let's start by... No, I'm going to do a tree. Tree's coming up here. Can you see this, what I'm drawing? Yes, you can. That's always good that you can see it. So, drawing in my tree. It's going to be quite a big tree. At the bottom of a tree like that, I always, rather than doing like a base of the tree, I'll do kind of plants or rocks around it. It's just easier that way. Now, there's going to be a branch that comes off about here and is going to come this way. That way. It's getting thinner as I go along. So you can see here that the animals are all on this branch. It is a big long branch. But some trees do have big long branches like that. And also, it's our world, so we can do what we want. Let's get this up here, and then another big branch coming off here that will allow me to kind of balance the tree out so that it doesn't look like it's just got one big branch and that's for the sake of me putting animals on. It's going to be more like this. Now let me do a bit of detail on the tree. I do actually have a tree stamp, I just don't have it to hand. But there's a tree like this in the Custom Woodland set. So if you wanted to create this scene and you didn't want to draw the tree in yourself, then we've got that option for you to stamp it. Okay, already it's looking pretty cool. It's like a little meeting of the animals. I like that. And I love this, how you can have all of the animals sitting or hanging on the same branch. I really like that. So, do I include any leaves? No. Let's make it a bit more wintry. But let's do some bushes here. Fill out the space. If there's space you don't like, you can always add a little bush. And that always gets a bit of a giggle when we do our workshops, talking about bush and stuff like that. But I'm not going to joke right now because I'm very, very mature, guys. Very, very mature. Okay. I love that so far. Do I want, just trying to think now, do I want to add, I might just use this set today, just because it's showing the power of just this set, isn't it? There are animals that I can put in behind. If I wanted to do a bit of masking, let's see, I'm going to see what people are saying so far. Let's angle it this way. So Hannah, I became mature a few days ago, actually. It's when I went to the doctor on my own. So I organised a doctor's appointment just on my own. Yep, that's right. Just on my own. Nobody rang for me. So I'm very, very mature and grown up, you see, now. So just get over it. So, is this cool? Let me have a quick look at the comments. So, a Zoomity meeting. Love that, Paula. Yeah. Let's have. Oh, did Susie mention workshops? I've been looking at a car like, yeah, so we want to book in many more workshops. We absolutely love doing workshops, so it's something that's really special to us. We basically want to book in as many as we can get around the country. So yeah, help us out if you see a good venue. Let us know about it, because we want to go to wherever you are. Okay, so I've had a look at the comments. What's all this? Let's have a look. So A6 sets. I wish I had my. Well, Susie's not going to ring it to me, but I wish I had it to show you some things I'm working on. But I'm not going to, because I know that Susie knows that I would divulge too much information and basically show you everything that's coming out, not leaving anything to the imagination, and therefore taking all the excitement away from it. So well done to Susie for not letting me do that. Okay, what time is it now? So what am I going to add in here? I think that might. Shall I just go for it and do loads and loads and loads of animals? Just conscious of the time. It'll take me to. Let's do this. Conscious of the time it's going to take me to paint this. Let's have a look. Are we angled properly? Not quite. There we go. It is a Zoomity meeting. I really like that. I should have called the stamp set that. There we go. Oh no, that's better. It's nicely framed, I must say that. Okay, here we go. Let's put a meerkat in there. Now, when I say about the painting of it, one other thing that I'm a little bit worried about is I don't know the colours of all these animals. I've forgotten them. Or it'd be nice to be able to Google it, but I won't have that opportunity. So I'm fretting over that. Let's have me meerkat here. Oh, that worked out all right. Oh, got a bit on there. Oh, didn't mask that well enough, but let's just cover that up with a bit of penmanship. That's all right. We can work with that. Then what else have we got? Flamingo. No, I'm going overboard here. I think I should not put all the animals in. I did forget to put the elephant in though, which is a really silly mistake. will that penguin go in here? Can I... Let me get my... where is... I should really be using masking tape, shouldn't I? Shouldn't be so lazy. But I am going to be lazy. I'm just tearing a bit of this stuff here. If I were to go like this, I could stamp my penguin anywhere. Do you ever think about the things that you get to say for your job? Like, some people who, for instance, if you worked in an Italian restaurant, you might be one of the people who says macaroni the most. It's a weird thought that I sometimes have. And with me, it's obviously going to be stamp. But I say things like, I'm going to stamp my penguin, stamp my bear, and things. It's like, who else gets to say that all the time? But when I was at Sizzix, because it's a die cutting company, one of the things I said the most was die. So that wasn't, you know, the nicest thing to realise. And one of my first videos said, Josh is here to show you how to get the best... what was it? Josh is here doing some working with some stamps and dies. My brother messaged me saying I was worried about you. I thought that was funny. Okay, let's paint this. Now I'm just going to go in with the colours that I think are in this. But yeah, it's a meeting of all of the zooey animals. Let's get rid of this wire shadow there. So I'm mixing myself a brown, which is another thing that I say quite a lot, for my capybara. And I'm going to add a little pink as I get to the end of the nose. I don't know if capybaras have big, like, pink noses at the end, but that's what my mind is telling me to do. Let's get some basic colours on there at the moment. I do feel like I'm working in the dark. It's a bit mad, actually. It's so like dismal in here. The light isn't, you know, but hopefully you get to see the colours at least a bit. Let's get this crocodile painted. Sometimes I might call them a crocodile, sometimes I might call them an alligator. And one thing I do notice that I do quite a lot is I automatically call it a he, which is not great. Says the man with 2 daughters. I live in a house with 3 girls. I shouldn't just be doing that. Okay. The sloth has got a bit more of a grey tone to her fur. Did you hear that? There we are. I'm going to come back in with shadow in a little bit. Now, that can be a chimpanzee or they could be an orangutan. To me, the obvious choice is orangutan because the colours will look really cool. Did everybody see my dad's pro tip on the Beyond Stamping group? It was, so the reason we've picked these brushes, we sell these brushes on the website. They are fantastic brushes and they stay pointed and, you know, they're just so perfect. We absolutely love them. But if you've got old brush, if you don't want to buy a new brush and you've got an old brush that is frayed, so you don't use it anymore. For instance, I've got one somewhere. I can't see it right now. It was in that pot there. I might have thrown it. But there is a way that you can get it back to a nice point. And it's, my dad filmed a video and he showed that you boil water, put it in the, let the water cool a little bit. Obviously be incredibly careful. And then you can dip, like once it's cooled a little bit, put the paintbrush in the water and it sort of molds it back into a brush shape, which is really, really cool. That might save people some money. Or you might just have a favourite brush that you really love using and you can't use it anymore because it's all frayed. Is that a bit too yellow? I think I should be using a bit more brown. But it's nice to show that, we all go through this thing where it's like, oh, I've done it right, I've done it right. I think that looks okay. I'm sure that Hannah's daughter could tell me, is that too yellow for a giraffe? But I am going to add in some shadow that's more brown and we'll get there. And then the markings on the giraffe, because they're a darker colour than the rest of the giraffe, I can then just paint over them, so it doesn't matter. I don't need to paint around these bits. I can then paint the brown over that because it's got yellow tones to it anyway. Brown. Let's get this tree painted. Can someone tell me, if you haven't already, are you getting the gist of what, what does it, how's the visually is it coming across? I know it's really dark, but is it watchable at the moment? Or are we just, is the only benefit of it seeing the stamping process rather than the painting? Because I don't want to be wasting people's time. I want to be adding to people's knowledge. I'll read the comments in a sec. Let's add a bit of shadow. One thing I always remember from primary school, some guy, it's funny really, because he ended up, I'm not going to mention his name, he ended up being quite renowned for being really tough and scary. But I was having a conversation with him when we were in primary school, and I said, oh, what are the lines on the tree? Which I put the lines on the tree now because they're like definition lines of bark. And he said, they're squirrel tracks. And I always sort of think of them now still as squirrel tracks. So thank you. Let's do a different tone of green here for the grass than the alligator / crocodile, so that we can distinguish them. Once I've done this grass, I'll have a quick look at the comments. If anyone has any questions, you can ask me now and I'll try and find them in the comments. Anything at all as well. There are no silly questions. It's coming together already, this illustration. Do you know what? When I say about, like, there are no silly questions, there really aren't. Well, I used to be a primary school teacher, so I've heard it all, every type of question you can ever get. And one that really stood out to me, I found this so interesting afterwards, we were doing about World War One, and we were looking at kind of old footage, or well, not old footage. We were talking about camouflage and what people wore, and it was like, dress the soldier activities and things like that. And I was teaching this lesson, and one of the children said to me, "Why didn't because we said it blends in with the grass and." And this child said to me, "Why didn't they just wear grey?" And the reason he said that was because he thought that back in the day, everything was black and white. And obviously it seems like silly when you think about it. You're like, oh God, what a silly question. But there was absolutely no reason for this child to know, because obviously we're not covered it in school, because it's like you assume that people know that the world wasn't black and white. It was, but through a child's eyes, something like that, when I was little, I used to think people either had a beard or they didn't have a beard and you couldn't control it. It's just weird, isn't it? Anyway, let me have a quick look at the comments. So, I look bedraggled today. Who's using this? It's like a vanity mirror, this camera, for me. And I see every wrinkle forming as I'm getting older. Okay, let's have a look. Wow, it's illegal to wear camouflage in Barbados. That's mad. Let me go further up the comments. Right, so Susie said, mine and Josh's first date was at Chester Zoo, and it's one of my favourite places, and we have elephants. Yeah, that was it. I remember it well, mine and Susie's first date. One of the best days of my life. And I remember I went to my friends afterwards, and I was going on about it. And looking back, they must have been like, all right, get over it. But I was just like, no, seriously, guys. And they probably found it really annoying. But here we are, 2 children later. Let's have a look. So, yes, so for the brushes, will your dad ever come onto one of your Wednesday live streams? Maybe. Might have to ask him. Let's have a look. Oh, hi, Rachel. I don't know if you were I didn't see you at the start. I wasn't ignoring you. Hello, Rachel. Formally. It's good. Looking great. It's completely... Okay, so it's completely watchable. Though I think if you pivot your phone on its stand, you won't see the base of the stand in the frame. That's a good idea. I'll try that. People saying it looks good. That's good. Brilliant. Okay, so it looks like it's okay. So, Mama X says, yes, when I was little in the 1960s, my dad, who loved photography, took pictures in black and white, and TV was black and white, so my children thought the past was black and white. That's so interesting. I just find it's really cool, that. Right, so we've got 20 minutes left. Let's get this finished. I'm going to take this plug out. I think that'll last 20 minutes. Let's see how we get on. So, I think if I went like this, you wouldn't see the base either. So we're going to angle it there. That's the base there. I don't want to angle it too much more, but I'm going to put that there. Because I could do it like that. Not too bad, that, is it? And then you can see me mixing paints here. Let's do that. I'll try and mix them in this bit. let's clean that bit so that you can see the colours that I'm mixing as we go. I'm using watercolours. So you can see these 4 little bits, can't I? Now, if you've come to one of my workshops, you'll have heard me talking about colour cohesion. And what I mean by that is, hello baby, you alright? Oh, it's just Susie. Thought it was Maisie. I don't call Susie baby. I call...
disappointment though is what was happening.
I call Susie babe. Because that started as a joke. What? Yeah, it doesn't really add much. We had that last week, but people said it looks all right.
I'm going in search of lights. I don't know where our little.
It'll be in the coop.
I'm not going there.
And by the way, everybody, the coop, which is where I started doing lives from for a while, is going to be back on the scene. The reason I've not been using the coop, which is a pigeon coop that I converted, we, Susie and I, but I did most of the work because Susie's scared of spiders. I did a lot of renovation. I was very manly when I did it. Susie will tell you, because I'm not the most manly person. I work in the crafting industry, and that's not manly. But I was very manly when I did the coop, wasn't I, Susie? And when she sees this, she'll say, yes, you were, actually. Because I did things like took out whole walls and just generally renovated a whole old dilapidated pigeon coop at the end of our garden. And I turned it into a lovely, 2 rooms, one for Susie, one for me. And that's going to be back in action soon, because the reason it hasn't been is that the, what are they called? The builders cancelled all the electricity to that room. Cancelled. I know that's not an industry term.
Oh, this might blind you.
Ooh, let's see how this works.
Oh, it's a bit bright.
What? Wow.
That's probably
Is that the sun?
Sorry.
No, it's all right.
Floodlight.
What if let's have a look.
So
Here.
stand here.
You stand here and hold it. What if I go... We're on my head. Trying to think now.
I'm coming amazing. Maybe that's not
It does look much better, that, doesn't it? You can actually see it, but there's just
know.
no way of...
Putting it up.
What if you put it here? I'll take this drawer out and put it on that drawer.
No.
We're on to a winner. And then I can angle it.
4 minutes. Sorry.
Look at that. It's hot.
Really
Yeah.
small then, 'cause that was-
That is that better?
Right, down you go.
Well, it's better for me. It's like daylight. Bloody hell. Susie going, have you made my cake yet? To Maisie. Pressure on such a young vine. Susie's just sat there demanding that Maisie makes her cakes. She's basically like the wicked step mother of Cinderella. I love hearing Maisie do her little arguments about stuff. Especially because it's in this little Scouse accent. She's like, Mom, I never had a drink before. She likes being pretending to be a doctor, which is encouraging for Susie and I, because she might earn a lot of money as a doctor, and then we can just relax our whole lives. Oh, can you hear her singing? She's bloody gorgeous. That was lovely singing, Maisie. Okay, let's get these giraffe patterns painted in. these brushes that we've got. This is part of the beauty of them, because I like these big expressive brush strokes, especially when it comes to like my low lights and things. But this brush gives me the opportunity to do the fine detail, especially because the animals in this set are smaller than the animals in, you know, what's it called? Comparatively, they're smaller than the animals in the other animal sets. And the reason is, like I said before, they're supposed to be a bit further away, basically, because it's a zoo, isn't it? There's zoo animals. So if you're doing a zoo scene, and also like bigger animals like a giraffe and an elephant, if you have to make them smaller so that they you know, fit on the A5 stamp set. But the brushes allow you to add in that fine detail. They are such good brushes. So I must say a big thank you. I think so. There are a few more spaces on our last workshop for the Alpine Adventure set. So we've got, I don't know how many spaces there are left. It might say online, actually. I don't know. I can't remember if that information's available online, but it's not many. There's a few spaces, but it's almost sold out. So thank you to everyone who has booked onto that. It is on the, correct me if I'm wrong, Susie, the 3rd of January in Basingstoke. And I'm really looking forward to that. So let me know if you've booked onto that. Let's mix. I want, like, because the bottom of a crocodile is more like a yellowy brown as opposed to the top, which is a, I mean, not, I don't think in real life, but when you illustrate one, it's more like that, isn't it? Okay. Looking good so far. Right, I'm going to get some blue shadow. So this here, that's a blue that I'm just using for shadow, because I know the belly of this penguin is white, and I always use a blue, a dirty blue, to shade it. And then I'll use a bit of black. If you don't have black, you can mix it using some blue and brown. And then let's do this bit here. See, this is where the brush comes into its own. Love it. Yellow beak. Well, let's do yellow little feet. I will be on HobbyMaker on Monday at 7 PM for anyone who wants me to watch, or should I say, who wants to watch me basically do what I'm doing now, but on television. I love going to HobbyMaker. I just feel so welcomed there. The team there are absolutely lovely. It's such a nice environment. Let's go down this way. Okay. Well, you'll notice I've not done the parrot yet. That's because I can't really remember what colour a parrot like that is, and I can't use my phone to check. So I might have to, what's the word? Improvise, and I might have to do it from memory, which will be fun. Let's do a nice big bold brush stroke of brown. All the bees down here. A few more like this, just to highlight any bits the light isn't getting to. and then on there as well. Now, what's left to paint? So let's do my chameleon. Now, what colour is a chameleon? Whatever colour that chameleon wants to be. That's nice, isn't it? You could do a rainbow chameleon if you wanted. I'm not. I'm going boring. I'm doing green. I'm still shying away from... I'm looking at that parrot, just thinking, oh, God. Come on, Josh, remember. Remember what colour a parrot is. I know it's like royal blue and red and yellow. Just can't remember fully. Turtles are easy because I was a big fan of the Teenage Mutant Ninja variety when I was a young lad in the 80s. Let's do a yellow underbelly. Let's add some shadow on the grass, because this, watch the difference now. I'm going to do this quickly. I'm mixing, I'm going straight in with this sort of green colour here, but I'm mixing it and adding some blue. I like to add blue to shadows because shadows are a bit cooler than non-shadows. So let's do this. Big bold brush strokes under there, but with the paintbrush, obviously, you can get the variety in the brush strokes. Let's do it under there, under here as well, under the tree. Basically going sort of mad here. I'll do some right under the orangutan over there. Orangutans, because I was obsessed with apes and monkeys growing up, absolutely obsessed. I used to go on Encarta Encyclopedia for fun and just look at them. And but I used to really pride myself on knowing that it was an orangutan with an N at the end, not an orangutan, which all of my much cooler classmates would call them. And I'd be like, I think you'll find it's orangutan, okay? And, I mean, needless to say, everybody lifted me up into the air and started chanting how cool I was. You know, it was like, Josh, 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 he's the man. People like being corrected on very trivial bits of info. So there's a bit of advice for you. And just dampen that a little. That's added a lot. The red to the end of the capybara's nose there, that added so much for me. Kind of brought it to life a bit. Let's darken that fur again. Lovely. All right, well, can't put it off anymore. Let's see if I can remember. And it only has to be an illustrative parrot. I don't think they have yellow beaks, but I'm going to do it yellow because it's my picture. Right, we'll do a big, a yellow beak. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with a deep red, straight in with this red, which is a cool red, which means it's closer to like the blue end of the spectrum. I'm actually going to just go around the eye like this, because I think there's a white bit around a parrot's eye. I'm also going to go like this. I'm going to leave a stripe there, because I'm going to just go for it and do a stripe of blue. It's going to be red up to there. Give him a red tail. Actually, I'm not. I'm going to give it a blue tail. Let's do this royal blue colour. A stripe here. Oh, it's gone a bit purple. And then we'll do stripes on the wings as well. Just adding bits. I seem to remember there being green on them as well. Just add a bit of that green in here, just a hint. All I'm doing is I'm doing general parroty sort of colours. I absolutely love it. I don't care what colour a parrot is. To me, that is better than whatever colour a parrot is. So there we go. I've done a parrot. I love that. I don't think anyone would challenge me if I was just like, yeah, that's a parrot colour. Some distant shading of these trees. Just to add a bit of dimension to my drawings and make them a bit more appealing to the eye. It's pretty much done, that. Do you know what I need to do? In the same way as I did that capybara's nose, I can be taking the paint away here. I love doing that. Just dab it there. Oh, get rid of that bit of pink. But I am going to add pink to this giraffe's nose. Again, it's just made it a bit more perfect. Absolutely love this set. It is fab. Now, that's about all that I'm going to do on this. Let's do a little bit of shading on my little turtle. Only I get to say things like that for work. Have you done any shading on your turtle lately? That's what I'll start saying to people instead of saying, actually it's an orangutan. I remember there's like a kind of dark bit on a meerkat's eye. It took me ages to realise how to spell meerkat when I was researching them for this set. And I was putting, it's M-E-E-R-K-A-T. But I think I was doing cat, like a cat. So maybe I'm not as bright as I think I am. Or as bright as this light is right next to me. Which is very bright. I'm sweating. Okay, that's about it. A little bit of definition in the grass. A meeting of the animals. Let's do a little bird flying in the distance. Like that. Maybe another one. Lovely. Is there anything else I need to add? I'm going to do a rock here. Because I don't like the way that it just ends behind the tree there. Let's do a little bit of green on there. I'm not going to go mad on this. It's just to finish it off. A little grey rock. I'll add that in here. And then I'm going to do a dark green shadow for the grass underneath that rock. There. That works. Let me do a little bit of shadow on the rock. There we go. And lastly, but not leastly, let's sign it here. Lovely. Oh, let me turn it the right way. How is that? I'm quite happy with that. Okay. So let's pull you back here a bit. Turn you around. Over here, like this. Look at that. That's what I was working with. Ooh. Blimey. I'm going to turn it off now. It's going to seem very, very dark. Oosh, I'm sure that's not a light, it's a heater. That's going to give me a migraine. But that's not to say I don't appreciate Sue bringing it up. Hopefully it made it easier for you to... Oh my God, it is so dark in here now. I can't believe we've been doing it without a proper light. I'm going to get a light for next week, I promise. But I thoroughly enjoyed that. I've gone a little bit over time. Have a look. A little meeting of the animals. I love it. I can't wait for people to see this set and get it. It's just a really lovely set to use, especially if you're doing zoo scenes like this one and this one. I mean, like physically at the zoo, because I love it. I might actually try and get Chester Zoo to share this or something. Absolutely love that. I may do this as a giveaway. So if you would like this painting, once this is on YouTube, don't say now, say when it's on YouTube, because otherwise the comment will disappear and I won't see it. On YouTube, comment on the video, let me know if you'd like the this as a little framed illustration, or I may just do it as, because the logistics of putting it in a frame or finding the frame that will go with your house and things like that is a lot. So I'll just do it as in a hardback envelope. I'll cut it down so it doesn't have the little smudge mark on. I'll cut it square. And if you would like this illustration, just comment on the YouTube video and let me know. I will pick somebody and we'll do it fairly, and then I'll reach out to you for your address and we'll do that. I stopped doing them for a while because it was hard for me to keep on top of it, and I was worried because it was, you know, someone would win the illustration and then I would it was like we had so much to do that it was hard to get it to the people. So but this time I'll try and make sure I'm on it. Okay, if you'd like that, let me know. Remember, there's still 1 or 2 spaces left on the Basingstoke workshop, so it's on the website. Go and get that space if you want it. Really looking forward to people getting their pre-orders through. If you haven't pre-ordered this, it is back on the website. Well, I think there's some on the website, but we haven't decided yet whether we're going to take some of them on TV on Hobby Maker on Monday, but we will make that decision. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Let me have a quick look at the comments before I go and over the time. I love all these comments. Rachel says, this is what I love about craft. My drawing, my choice of colour, and that's exactly it. Sue Williams says, wonderful. Josh, as always, thank you so much, Sue. Paula Brady, go to Chester Zoo. It is fantastic. And just people generally being absolutely lovely and wonderful as always. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, when this goes onto YouTube in about 10-15 minutes, that's when you can comment. Let me know if you want this illustration. And thanks for watching. See you next week, everyone. Bye.